Listen to this news clip. It's only about 30 seconds, and I'll be right back.
But when you're winning in Illinois, you're happy to play by these rules.
Again, I've condemned all gerrymandering across the country. And in fact, when Democrats had a majority in Congress, they voted to ban gerrymandering in every state, red states and blue states. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress joined them in that effort?
Which one? I'm sorry. Which state did you just refer to?
I'm asking, do you know how many Republicans joined Democrats in the U.S. Congress to ban gerrymandering? All the Democrats voted for it. 0 Republicans voted for it. 0.
It's an odd.
Okay, did you catch that? Will Cain is interviewing James Talarico. James Talarico points out that in 2024, every Democrat in Congress voted to outlaw gerrymandering. 0 Republicans voted for it. At first, he's not even listening. That's what it's come to, really. It's like the line in the Simon and Garfunkel song. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. That's about it. Um, he goes on to say, well, we both do it. Well, here's the thing. If Republicans are going to do it, of course Democrats have to do it. They can't keep bringing the same knife to the same gunfight. They'll lose every time. They have to fight fire with fire. So the bill was trying to fight fire with water. Let's just get rid of gerrymandering, level the playing field, and so it can be fair for everyone. It can't, if Republicans are going to severely gerrymander and Democrats don't, Republicans are getting exactly what they want. They'll win every time. So that's the thing. One side is interested in making elections more fair. I think Republicans, of course, they understand that without gerrymandering, they must think they can't win. Look at it this way. There has never been a single free and fair election in this country. Maybe after the Voting Rights Act in the 60s, maybe then things started to improve. Before then, it was just all about, that's why Democrats and Republicans used to get along better, um, because they had, all the white men had pretty much everybody else sufficiently marginalized. Maybe not women so much after they got the right to vote, but when you take into account Jim Crow, um, things like that, there has always been, particularly in the South, uh, efforts to mess with things, mess with people, make it difficult to vote. There, we have a long, sordid history of that. Maybe I should better just cut to the chase. As just like Will Cain, no one's listening. So, what I wonder is, where's this going? Is it is there any scenario with which uh, the regular people of America and the MAGA people uh, ever just shake hands and get along? I I really having trouble seeing a future with that. Here's a couple of scenarios. Let's say Democrats just have a wipeout midterm. They completely take over House, Senate, uh, impeach Trump, whatever. He can't get any legislation the way he wants. Um, his side is just going to be inflamed. They're going to hate it. Um, say 2028, a Democrat president is elected, and then Democrats have control, it'll be the same thing all over again. They'll just be, either side. We've worked our way. It took a couple hundred years. I don't think the founding fathers really quite planned or foresaw this two-party system, um, to where it's just gotten down to, finger pointing from both sides. Both sides hate each other. They can't get along. So it's either got to come down to getting along, or what's the alternative? Uh, I don't think, I don't know what a civil war would look like in today's world, but you almost can't rule that out. Um, so I'm kind of curious, what are the possibilities? What does the future hold? You look at things right now, and here's another scenario. Another scenario is Democrats have a wipeout, and Trump sends in the army to confiscate the votes, just like he's done in Georgia now, an election that's been checked and rechecked many, many times. It's agreed that pretty much that it was fair. Elections are fair. And, can you imagine, how do you risk uh, prison to go into a voting place and cast your one vote somehow that's somehow against the law? I mean, is it worth it? Who wants to do that? Does anyone want to risk jail to fraudulently vote? What they're trying to say is, like when election night passes and votes are still coming in, uh, um, Mike Johnson, swears that, when he had, three Republican House members winning in California on election night, and then over the coming days, as vote by mail came in, it flipped. Well, that's the rule. People can vote by mail, and if it's postmarked before, we don't have to have. I think when we, back in the day, everything was settled somehow on election night. The loser came out and conceded. Well, that can't happen with Trump anyway, because he's never going to uh, 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 do that. And that's why he's still working on the 2020 election, is because it's in his DNA to not admit defeat. He's got to win at everything. I think anyone that has a relationship with Trump, you can do that, but it has to be pretty much, um, you have to concede that he's the man. No one else can be as good as him, and that's what everybody's so good at, sucking up to him. And then they just like their paycheck. Um, but anyway, so that's another possibility. Um, I don't think there's any way. I don't see how you could be confident that we would just have a normal election, because I mean, the way things are shaping up, Democrats are just absolutely obliterating. There have been 26 special elections since Trump took office, and the Democrats have won every single one pretty much handily. Um, so anyway, yeah, I don't think there's everyone out there that's, not pro democracy is a Will Kane. You know, uh, we should be able to do. I mean, all the fast and loose stuff that has always taken place in this country just needs to continue. Um, I think what the founding fathers, I think they really thought that the government would be always run by people of good character. And what we have now is somebody with terrible character, supported by millions of people who just don't know how to judge character. Or the other possibility is that he's just a better, that people have been groomed to despise Democrats by keeping the TV on Fox News all the time, that anything's a better alternative. But I think the stuff that's going on now, I'm not for it. Um, I just don't like the way things are run now. I guess if you hear this and you do, maybe you'll have something to say about it. Wow, I think that's all for now. See you later.